Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the Fruit Basket, where today we're going to do another tier list, but this time we're going to do a tier list for Marvel Rivals and how I feel about each character in the game. Now, some of these people I haven't used a lot, some of them I've only used every now and again, but I have spent some time with each hero, so we're just going to do a bit of a tier list. Also, I've been on teams with people who choose these characters, so I'm also judging it based on that, based off, how I feel playing them and how I've seen others, people that I've teamed up with. So here we have the tier list, and we're just kind of doing the standard, S, A, B, C, D. Usually I like to make random names for them, but I couldn't really think of any. So we're just going to rank all these characters here, starting with Captain America. Now, I try to use Captain America. I understand that, I feel like he's a bit not controversial, but he's, it's 50-50 of whether or not people like him or love him. Like, I've heard some people say that he's an underrated tank, which, as someone who has fought against him, I would say yes. But I've also heard people who just don't really care for him, who think he's not a good tank. And I think it's with how you can use him. I've played against and seen people who have been great with him, but he's not my particular cup of tea, so he's probably not going to be ranked up high. He's definitely a character I feel like you got to spend a lot of time with to get down like what works best with him. He works, I feel like, from what I see, and again, in terms of like diving on the enemy. So really, if you're someone who likes to hang back, if you're a healer, or if you're more like a DPS that kind of hangs back sometimes, like a Punisher, a Hawkeye, Black Widow, maybe Hela, because she has a hit scan, she can stay in the backline if she really wants to. I feel like he's definitely good against that. So I don't know, but again, I haven't played him a lot. I wasn't a big fan of him when I did. I would have to put him in B because I think it's very 50-50 of whether or not you can, if you even have like a good Captain America on your team. Not even if you're a good Captain America, you would have to spend a lot of your time to get that. But if someone picks Captain America, you better hope that they are good at what they do. Then we have Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is another one where I only really played him when the game first came out, so like season 0, mostly because I was similar with Captain America. I was trying to find this version of Reinhardt, like the game's version of Reinhardt, where there sadly is none, because that was like my guy on Overwatch. I was, definitely a Reinhardt guy. And I wanted to see if Doctor Strange would be like that. And I think my disappointment when it came to his usage really just came down to the fact that I was trying to put too much of like Reinhardtness into him, I guess. Like, I was just a little disappointed that he wasn't Reinhardt. And I think that gave me a negative view of him until I saw other people use him. And been on teams where he's been around. I think he's definitely A tier because I have tried him a bit since the first time, and I think he's definitely a good tank. I think he is kind of what I am looking for with Reinhardt, as someone who can hold the line and push forward a bit. I just need to spend a little bit more time with him. Then we have Groot. Groot is a character I'll probably never pick, but I appreciate having him on a team, even though with certain characters that I like to play, his walls can kind of get in the way. So I'm a bit 50-50 on him. I would say A, because I appreciate him being on the team more so. I mean, I might as well say it now. I'm a Hawkeye main. I love to play as Hawkeye, and Groot's ultimate can really help in some cases, keeping the enemy in place. So I appreciate that. Speaking of Hawkeye, I mean, we might as well do it now. Since I said he's my main, I'm going S tier. I just really like Hawkeye. I was a big Hanzo player, at least during early Overwatch, not during later Overwatch, but I would still pick him up every now and again. And Hawkeye's one of the first I went to in order to kind of get that experience, and I think he did it pretty well. He's kind of what I wish Hanzo would have been after they kind of nerfed him a bit. Then we have Hulk. I haven't used Hulk. I don't think I've used Hulk in a actual game. I think I only used him in like a practice range, just to see how he plays. Maybe I'll start using him. I've never been big on him. I'm probably gonna put him in C, and I'm only putting him here because as someone who has played against him, as someone who has been on a similar team as him, it's always kind of a mid experience. Like, I never found a Hulk to be challenging to play against. Maybe that's just because I'm a Hawkeye, but even then, like, why don't they jump to me? I don't know. Hawkeye style, I feel like I would have to. I mean, Hulk style, I feel like I would have to appreciate more if I actually spent some time with him, which I do want to. He's one of those characters, like, I've seen videos of people playing as him, and it makes me interested to see what I could do with him. But we'll just have to wait and see. Magneto is also someone I appreciate a little bit more. Again, he was a guy that I wanted to essentially be my Reinhardt replacement, and I'll put him in A because I feel like he does that more effectively, and I do really like a lot of his abilities. I've used him every now and again. I think I should use him more. I don't really play tanks a lot, unfortunately. I usually go with DPS or healer, but I think tank definitely is something I should use more. That's why I want to like test out Hulk a bit, see how I like him, and also use Magneto more. But also mostly because I just really like Magneto as well. Now, Penny Parker, I've only played once before today. I played a bit of Marvel Rivals earlier today, and I played Penny Parker because we just didn't have a tank on our team, and I was just like, you know what, I'll use Penny Parker. I used her somewhat in a bit when it came to the practice mode, and I really liked her. We played a really good game. We were really able to hold them off, and I really appreciate Penny Parker. I think I would need to spend more time with her, but she's going to go in A tier for now. And I think I'm going to move Magneto to S because, you know, playing against the Magneto is really tough too, mostly because, you know, Hawkeye and shit like that. So I think I appreciate him a lot more. And I probably put Penny up there, but I want to wait till I spend more time with her because, again, Penny's another one where it's just like, she can be very difficult to fight against in a lot of cases. Thor, I'm going to put him in S. He's probably... I should have checked my time, like the time that I've played with these characters beforehand. I think Thor might be, actually no, he's not. I was going to say that Thor might be my most played tank, but he's not. The next one is, but I think he might be my second. I really like Thor. I think he's a great tank. He plays into a lot of what I like. I just wish he had a bit more shielding, but of course he gets like, you know, bonus health and shit like that from like the Odin Force shit. But still, I feel like even if he did, he would be like a very broken character. But really, I think it just comes down to whether your healers are around or if they're, you know, focusing on you. But overall, the more I played with him, the more I liked him, and the more, you know, I feel like I've gotten better with him. So I think he's definitely up there. And then we have Venom, who is my most played tank. I'm more than certain. But I'm gonna put him at B because I don't really like using him all that well. Maybe I'm just not a good Venom. That's the thing. You know, I've always heard people being like, oh, if you got a really good Venom, you know, I'm not a good Venom. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm just gonna keep it here at B. I think I just need to get off him because I don't know. Maybe I just have very bad luck in any game I do play with him. I just, you know, get people who are really good at playing against me, but I never had a great time playing against using him. Most of the time, I only play as him because he's just my go-to tank when we don't have a tank on our team, when nobody else wants to pick tank. So I usually just go for him. Black Panther. I've only had bad experiences with Black Panther because they're never on my team. And I always play against them and they always destroy me because they always like sneak through the back line and get me. So Black Panther goes to D. Also, I just don't really have any appeal to play with him. His moveset is nothing that really gets to me in all sense. Like, there's nothing about his moveset where I'm just really like, yeah, I really want to play as him. I feel like even if I did, I would suck at it too. Black Widow is that I would probably like her a bit too. She would probably be like, you know, if I didn't want to play as Hulk, I would play as Black Widow. But she's just not as good. She's just not. Have played against good Black Widows before. And I don't know. I think I haven't played with her enough, and even then, the good Black Widows aren't really all there that much, so I'll probably put her in D too. I hope they do something with her, because really she should be a lot better than what she is, but I don't know. Now Hela, I don't think I've ever really played as her on playing a game. She is one of those, like, I would like to, you know, she's definitely a good character, but I don't have enough experience with her. And like, I've played against bad Hellas, I played with good Hellas, you know, played against good Hellas. I think she's just kind of C tier. Like Venom and Captain America is like, I can appreciate them for what they are. Actually, no. I'm sorry to think of this list. I think I might want to. I think I might have B and C wrong. Because honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, I would put. Actually, I would put Captain America here. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna fix. We're moving Hela and Hulk up, and Captain America stays at B, but we're moving Venom down. Because I'm looking at this list and I'm just like, actually, we might move Groot down too. We're gonna move Groot down. Now I'm fixing my list. But yeah, Hela's a good character, but again, I just don't really have any interest in her. Like, you know, as playing with her. As a matter of fact, I'll move Black Panther up because at least I understand why people play as like Hela and Black Panther. Black Widow, unfortunately, is just not good enough that I feel like she would probably just stay down there. Iron Fist. Originally, probably like everyone perceived him as the most broken character. Now I feel like people don't really go to him as much. I used to play as him a lot, but now I don't really care all that much. I feel like people have also gotten really good at countering him, but anytime I like have him on, like I play against him, he's always kind of it's always a toss up. Either he's really annoying or he like dies easily, like I'm able to pick him off. Because if I'm playing as Hawkeye, I can kind of pick him off for a good portion. If I'm playing as Iron Man, he fucks me up. I don't know, like he felt really overpowered earlier, like season 0, but now it feels like nobody really cares. I'd probably put him in C2. Like, again, it's how I felt about Venom, where I was like, Venom seems really cool, but unlike Venom, I was actually pretty good as Iron Fist. Like, I was able to understand, but now I just don't really care enough to play him all that much. Like, I'd rather play as other DPS characters. Iron Man, I'll say A. If you're not teamed up with the Hulk, he doesn't feel that impactful. I still like to play him every now and again too, even without a Hulk, but it definitely helps, so that's probably why he's not going to be an S tier. But I'll just keep him here. I like playing Iron Man. He's a more stable version of, what's her name? Pharah from Overwatch, which was always my biggest problem with Pharah. I liked playing Pharah, but I was just not able to, like, you know, all constantly going like up and down with the jetpack, having to like trying to maintain where you were up in the sky while your fuel is getting used up. It was just kind of annoying. I wish it was just kind of permanent for at least some factor of it, but with Iron Man, I kind of like that. Same with Storm too, but we'll get to Storm later. Magik, another character I have not spent a lot of time with. It's in the similar vein as Hulk, where I've seen videos of people using her and it makes me want to use her, like spend time practicing with her, see what I can do with her. So I'm going to put it here. Can be annoying to play against, but I think that's the charm of it. Like, that's the charm of with a lot of characters like that are kind of annoying to play against. It's because you're like, you know they're good and you want to see what you can do with them. That's at least how I view it in a way. That's probably why I put Black Panther up at least to see, because while I probably will never play as him, I understand the appeal that people have with him. It's just not an appeal for me. Moon Knight, he's not that great of a character. He's just kind of a cheesy character in a bit with, you know, the onks and stuff like that. He can be a very good character if people like used him correctly, but I feel like a lot of Moon Knight players just like to use him because they don't aim. And I've used Moon Knight before, and I feel like I can understand where they kind of come through sometimes. Because I feel like with the onks, there's almost that sense of to like rely on them, and I fall guilty to that too. But I honestly see why, because I don't feel like he's that great, even if you just use regular aiming anyways. Like, I don't know, or it just might be a me thing. Like, I've been able to kill people, like kill plenty of people without using the onks, but I understand why some people rely heavily on them. I'll put him in C. I think he falls under the same tier as Iron Fist of being like a cheesy character that a lot of people go to that isn't really that great in retrospect. Namor, I'm gonna go with C. To me, he's in a similar vein as Black Panther. I played against really good Namors, but I don't see the appeal in playing as him. So I had to put him in C, at least with respect, because I can understand why people play as him, also with like his healing ability where he like goes into that water bubble and the turrets. I can understand, again, why people play as him. I just don't get the appeal, so I don't see him as a character that I will ever play, so I would just put him in C. Psylocke, played a good amount of Psylocke. I'll say A. Depending on how you use her, she's really good. The last game I played where I had a teammate who used Psylocke, used them terribly. So it really just depends on how you approach her. Obviously, she's one that's, you know, picking off damage and then get out with the invisibility. On some maps that's really good, and some it's not. It really depends like where you're at, but You know, I've had good rounds where I played as Psylocke, I've had bad rounds, so I would have to put her in A. It's very situational, in my opinion, for Psylocke. Scarlet Witch. She's not that bad as some people make her out to be. Obviously, she's a very easy character to get a hold of. My only criticism is I wish that like that little ball feature where she kind of like, you know, turns into a ball and floats away. I wish they didn't have like multiple of them, because I think there's like you can do it 2 times in a row if you have like the slot fully increased or whatever. I wish that was only like one, because it gets annoying if you're trying to like pick one off. But she's not like she's not a hard character to kill anyways, like as long as she just doesn't rely on that ability as much. But I would probably just put her in C. I don't really care enough to use her. Spider-Man I've been using a lot more. Not well. Not incredibly well. I've been able to get, you know, I think I'm pretty average with using him, but I'd like to use him more. He was like one of the first characters I used when I was trying to like play the game, and immediately with like how his swing mechanic worked, I was just like, okay, I'm not getting the handle of this. But after seeing people play him, I finally decided to give him another shot, and he's good. He's good as like a, you know, taking down the back line, and I definitely want to use him more and see what I can do. I just think I need more time practicing with him to really get at that. Now, Squirrel Girl, as someone who used to play a lot of Junkrat, I like Squirrel Girl. I think she, say A tier. I like playing as her, but she's not someone I rely on a bunch, so I'd put it there. I like the change to her ultimate. I don't think her ultimate is still that great all that much. Again, she's just a fun character where I'm just like, you know what, if we're playing a domination match and, you know, they're really like packed together, the enemy team, I'll probably just, you know, hop in as Squirrel Girl and just start throwing nuts at them. Star-Lord, I'd say A2. I like to play him every now and again, but I don't play him all that much. He kind of just reminds me of a tracer that flies. I've been able to have some good plays, but honestly, he's just a character that I'd probably only play sometimes like Squirrel Girl if I just want to have a bit of fun, but not one that I really care all that much to use a lot. Now, Storm I'd put in A just because I feel like I need to spend. Actually, you know what? S. I like Storm. I was using her before she got the buff, and I feel like if it wasn't for that, I would put her in A tier. But because she got that buff, that really needed buff, she goes to S tier. I really like playing her. She's essentially, I don't know, like I like the fact that like Iron Man, she's constantly up in the air. Especially when you have her teamed up with Thor, she's incredible. I just really like using her. I wish the wind strikes were a little bit more like bigger to carry more of an area, but obviously I feel like Iron Man is kind of like, I feel like that would make her almost too much like Iron Man. Like Iron Man's supposed to be like the big area of effect player, while Storm is supposed to be like specified hit once. I think my problem with her is that I just rely too much on just going up into the air instead of staying a little bit more on the ground with my tank. So maybe I need to switch that up also, because it, you know, the area effect that she can affect the team with when it comes to like movement and damage. I should probably stick closer to my team, so that's more of a me issue. Punisher goes in D tier just because too many aimbotters use him. I'm getting sick of it. If there's a Punisher on your team or the enemy team, there's a good chance they're I feel like at this point there's a good chance they're probably aimbotters. Obviously there's some people who like to play Punisher. You know, no shade to them. But the fact that he is the aimbot character to go to, I think deserves to go in D tier. Winter Soldier, everyone's seen the TikTok clips. I've used them a bit, and I feel like over time, gotten better with him. You know what? I'll put him in A tier. I think he's really good against characters like Storm and Iron Man. Help put them on the ground more. With his right bumper, you know, the charged attack where it sends them down, slows their movement. I forget exactly what it's called, but I like the fact that he's very much like, you know, he'll pick an enemy from the opposing team, reels them in, and is able to really like single people out. I really like that with Winter Soldier. Had some good plays with him, had some bad plays with him, but I really like him as a character. Wolverine, wasn't a fan when I first picked him up, but I understand why. I think I was just using him wrong. So I think this is a character that I should probably just spend more time with. So I'll just put him in B for now. Adam Warlock, I'll also put in B. I think I just need to spend more time with him. He's one of the healers that I just don't really use a lot. I do want to spend a little bit more time with him, just so I have another healer to go to outside of the other ones that I use. But yeah, I'm gonna keep him in there. Cloak and Dagger, C. I like them, but I probably just won't use them all bunch. I'll probably like pick it if there's a Moon Knight on the team, but that's about it. Jeff the Land Shark. Jeff the Land Shark can go on B because he is very cute, but I feel like now that everyone knows how to like avoid him in a way, he would go in C for that. But he's really cute, so I'm gonna put him in B. Loki's gonna go in A, one of my favorite healers to play with. I think once you got his like clone ability, strategy worked out where, just put as many as you can down and just use them, whatever. The runes and stuff like that. He's really fun to use like that. But he's not my favorite one. My favorite one would have to be Luna. Luna, I would say, is S tier. Really good healer. Her ultimate is fucking busted. Probably needs to be decreased a bit, like probably by 2 seconds. 2 or 1 at the very least. But probably the best healer in the game in my opinion. I really like playing with her. Definitely need to spend more time with her though. Definitely probably the best healer in the game in my opinion. And then there's Mantis, and Mantis I'm gonna have to put in D for similar reasons like Namor and Black Panther. I get the appeal, and I played games with really good Mantises. Probably just never gonna play her though, and I'm probably gonna put Rocket Raccoon there too. Anytime I play a game and I see a Rocket Raccoon on my team, and there's not like a Groot or another healer. If he's like the solo healer, I'm just kind of like, all right, this isn't going to go well. And I have played with good Rockets before where they really give out good heals. I'll give them that, especially, since I play Winter Soldier sometimes. It's good to have a Rocket on my team. But I feel like when it comes to, like, if you're going to have a Rocket, you need to have another healer, in my opinion. I might be wrong. There might be, people who play a lot of Marvel Rivals or Rocket mains who are like screaming at me right now. How dare you? He's just not a healer I get excited with. Like, I get excited with Mantis, even though I don't really care enough to use Mantis. I get excited with, like, I'll even get excited with Jeff a bit, even though I feel like there are people who kind of use his damage output a little bit too much. Like, people who just spam his left trigger attack, his, like, missile attack. It gets annoying, but I don't know. I don't really get excited with Rocket all that much, even though, again, I played with good Rockets before. Mr. Fantastic, when I first picked him up, I wasn't excited with him. I felt like he just wasn't that great. But I played him in a game earlier today, and I think I'll have to give him another shot, so I'm not keeping him at B. And Invisible Woman, I'm gonna have to put at S. I think she's right up there with Luna as a really good healer. And honestly, I might have to start using her more too. Like, I do like using Luna, but I also want to start using Invisible Woman more. So this is my tier list. Going from the bottom to the top. For D tier, we got Black Widow, the Punisher. That's very fitting. I wouldn't really change that. For C tier, we have Venom. I've used a lot of Venom, but maybe it's just, I'm not a good Venom. I wasn't a big fan of using him, so I'm going to try to switch up my tank main. But yeah, I think I just had to put him in C. There's a lot of great Venoms out there. I'm not one of them, so I just need to find something else. Black Panther, I understand why people play with him. I just probably will never pick him up. Iron Fist was good at first, not great anymore in my opinion. Moon Knight, Namor, Scarlet Witch, Cloak and Dagger, Mantis, and Rocket Raccoon. These three are like, they're only in C tier because they're really characters I would probably never pick up. And same with Rocket. It's not a healer that I'm really excited to have on my team, but I feel like when it comes to all the healers, there's not necessarily a bad one. Jeff might be worse. He might be the worst one, honestly, in my opinion. But, he's a land shark. I gotta put him up there. I can't. I think he's cute, so I had to put him in B. He gets the cuteness factor for me. With B tier, we got Hela, Hulk, Captain America, Groot, Magic, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Adam Warlock, Jeff, Mr. Fantastic. All these characters, except for Jeff, are characters that I would like to use more often, or at least have like that I appreciate having on my team, like a Hela or a Groot. But like Hulk, Captain America, Magic, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Adam Warlock, and Mr. Fantastic, these are characters that I just really want to spend more time with, and see how I'm able to play with them, see if I can actually get good plays with them. And then we have A tier, Doctor Strange, who I might move down to B tier because I just, I'm going to move him down to B tier just because I don't have a lot of time with him, especially recently, so I'll probably just move him down there. But in the same vein as most of the people in B tier, I just need to spend more time with him personally to really see if I like him or not. But A tier is Penny Parker, and she would probably be down at B if it wasn't for the fact that I played against really good Penny Parkers and had really good Penny Parkers on my team, and the fact that I just played with one and was able to do really good with her. Iron Man, even though it's situational, it really appreciates to have a Hulk on the team, but even then I still like to use them every now and again. Psylocke, Squirrel Girl, Star-Lord. Squirrel Girl and Star-Lord, like I said before, are really just on here because I like to play with them sometimes. They're not my go-tos, but you know, if I just want to, if I don't, if I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna hop on for fun, like not really caring if I win or lose, I'll probably just play Squirrel Girl or Star-Lord. Loki is also an A tier. And then my S tier. And I'll probably rank these. Like, I'll rank these from my favorite to the least favorite. Is Hawkeye, Magneto, Thor, Storm, Winter Soldier, Luna Snow, and Invisible Woman. I'd probably keep Invisible Woman last, because I haven't used her a lot. Same with Magneto. Then I would have to go with Luna Snow. I'll keep her there. Winter Soldier. Actually, you know what? I'll keep it like this. So from my least favorite to most favorite in S tier is Invisible Woman, Magneto, Luna Snow, Winter Soldier, Storm, Thor, and Hawkeye. You know, I just love Hawkeye too much. He's my main. I've literally had, like, I literally just broke my record for, like, most kills in a game with Hawkeye, like, last night. I literally got to, like, 40 kills. It was on, Midtown, the Midtown map with Convoy, and I got, like, 40 kills. Probably one of my best games as Hawkeye, and it was just incredible. Like, he's my main forever and always. Hopefully they don't nerf him again, even though his nerf wasn't that effective. I was a little over dramatic when I first heard it. I was like, oh, it's a sniper character with decreased focus reach. Oh, this is gonna kill the character. But no, I still go nutty mode with him, and he's still used pretty often. I see people, like, you know, on the enemy team and even teams that I play with who still use him regularly. He's still a really good character. But yeah, as long as they don't ruin him like Hanzo, I will probably continue using him for the rest of the game, however long this goes on. But yeah, he's definitely my top one. One of my favorites. Thor, I feel like the more I play with him, the better I get with him, so he's definitely up there. I really like Storm, Winter Soldier, Luna Snow, Magneto, Invisible Woman. They're all really good characters that I really want to play a lot more with. And had great games against and with. So yeah, this is my tier list. Obviously, I think this is gonna be a lot different for everyone. Who knows? Maybe like a competitive Marvel Rivals character is like yelling at me through this by watching this video. That's what I kind of stay away from too. Is that I don't really play a lot of competitive, so you know I'm not going with like who's the new meta or whatever. I'm just going with my personal opinion. Like I don't play competitive a lot. I do get a lot of like competitive Marvel Rival players on my TikTok feed or content creators. I don't really care for that. I'm mostly here just to like play a good game, you know. And sometimes I might take it a little too seriously, but that's just me. But for the most part, I just like having fun, and you know, if there's a character that I, you know, can do a lot of good plays with, I'm gonna stick with them even if they're not exactly the new meta. Like, even though I didn't like what they did with Hanzo in Overwatch, where I feel like they kind of ruined him a bit, I still use Hanzo a lot. So, you know, this is my tier list. You know, I would like to see like who's your main, who's your favorites, who's your least favorites. You can leave those in the comments, and I will see you all next time.